When we look at the world through our human lens, we often see a series of unfortunate events, pain, and what we call evil. But the Islamic perspective invites us to shift our focus from a narrow, human-centric view to an expansive, divine-centric understanding of reality. To understand why suffering exists, we must first recognize the inherent limitations of our own perception and the vastness of divine wisdom. Consider the story of Prophet Musa and the wise servant Ayyakida. On their journey, Ayyakida performed actions that seemed undeniably harsh. He damaged a boat belonging to poor fishermen. To Musa, this was a clear act of injustice and harm toward the innocent. However, the hidden reality was that an oppressive king was seizing every functional boat. The evil act was actually a means of preservation. As the Quran states, perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad. Life is not a playground of comfort, but a testing ground known as Ibtila. Trials are the catalysts for spiritual growth. Just as gold is purified by the intensity of fire to remove impurities, the human soul is refined through the heat of adversity. Without the contrast of sickness, we could never truly appreciate health. Without the darkness, the light would have no meaning to us. Another crucial element is the gift of free will. Allah granted humans the capacity to choose between right and wrong. If we were programmed like robots, our actions would lack moral value. Virtue only exists because we have the power to choose otherwise. We must also distinguish between absolute and relative evil. Often, what we perceive as evil is a necessary warning for a greater good. Physical pain is a mercy that alerts us to injury. Similarly, spiritual loss can be a correction that brings us back to our Creator. Think of evil as a shadow. A shadow has no independent existence. It is simply the absence of light that defines the structure of a building. Finally, Islam teaches that this life is but a fleeting moment. Divine justice is fully realized in the scales of the afterlife. Every ounce of suffering is accounted for, and every act of patience is compensated with a serenity that transcends earthly understanding. Imagine life as a grand tapestry. From the back, we see only a mess of tangled threads and confusing knots. But when the master hand flips it over, we see the intricate, perfect masterpiece that every single thread helped to create. In the end, we find peace in reader contentment with God's decree and strength in sabr, knowing that the master of the universe is all-wise.